Yo, it's the MOPOWERZ, and we are BACKAGAIN on another fantastic Tuesday evening. And it is magnificent outside. Get some cool air from the hot sun that has been going on today. And if this is your first time watching the MOSHOW Chicago, MOPOWERZ, I ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. And before we get started with this live, I want to send positive energy out to all of the mothers of children that has died through gun violence this year here in Chicago. That's 33 kids. And I want to send my condolences out to the elders that have been getting shot and killed here in Chicago. You just had a 70-year-old lady in the Hedgewich community. And guess what happened to her? Somebody cut her TV off. Pow! 70 years old, going to work. The only thing she did wrong was help people, according to her co-workers, people who know her, family. They say that she would give you the shirt off her back, yet she was parked. Yes, she was parked by a car. Another car pulled up behind her. Two guys got out, got on hoodies. Bang, bang. She took off, drove down the street, crashed, dead. She drove off because she was trying to get away. Sad, but true. But we got a good live today, and I tell you, it's a sad one because Brother Polight, aka Michael Nowak, was arrested and charged with raping his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter in Miami. In fact about it, the mother's name is Miss Orocho, and the victim we know as TS, and they're just giving us the initials because she's a minor. Wow, Polight. I saw this coming though. I saw this coming. Wow. Anyway, needless to say, Brother Polight, aka Michael Nowak, talked to his girlfriend, the 31-year-old Miss Orocho, and asked if he can take her 14-year-old daughter, TS, to a party at a club in Miami called Club 11. Needless to say, that when they got to the club, it supposedly had been closed. So what did Polight do? He took the girl to his hotel room. And the reason that he was with that 14-year-old girl was because he told her mother that he wanted to talk to her about mending the daughter and mother relationship. Yet he's at a hotel with this 14-year-old minor trying to put his penis in her mouth. What? That's according to the reports. He got her to the hotel, gave her numerous of drinks. She consumed them. He took his penis out, moved her head towards his penis, and then supposedly she had passed out. He panicked. Got afraid, stuck his fingers down her throat to help her regurgitate all of the alcohol and whatever else she consumed that he gave her, took her back home to her mama, told her mama not to call the police because it would ruin his career. Damn, Polight, you ruined your career when you actually take that 14-year-old girl to an adult club. And on top of that, if you had something to say, why couldn't you tell that to her in front of her mother? And speaking of her mother, I have to ask myself, what was the frame of mind of the mother who allowed her 14-year-old daughter to go to an adult club with her boyfriend? I'm just saying. Now, they've been dating, according to the reports, they've been dating for over a year. So I guess she had trusted him. Did she know that he was a polygamist? Did she know that he's into young girls? Sadly, like father, like son. Like father, like son. And the father that I'm speaking of is Dr. Malachi York. Dollar Malachi York was also charged. Charged. And he's under the prison right now. He's under the prison right now, okay, with the makeshift Kemetic pyramids that he had down there in Georgia. Yeah, now he's under the jail. Why is he under the jail? Because he did what Polight did. He was having sex with minors, and he, Malachi York, gave them herpes. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, if you go through Sinetta TV videos and even Brother Polight own videos, he would tell you himself right out his mouth that that's his father. That's his father. Whether he was guilty of those crimes or not, Malachi York was his father. And you shall do the sin of your father, Brother Polight. With all of the knowledge and information that you have, that you brought people throughout the conscious community, even when you wasn't in the conscious community on Sinetta TV, you still had a positive image on a lot of people, adults and teenagers. What kind of guy like you, Polight, who is historically a genius up top and speaks several different languages? You're like a ventriloquist. With all of this money that you're making, you did say that your God is money. Yeah, excuse me, your religion is money. Your religion, your God, same concept, is money. So if that is true, Polight, how did you get caught up at a hotel with a 14-year-old minor? And this took place back in February. And he was formally charged on August 10th of this year. Miami-Dade County Police Department. Just go Google. Just go Google. And what they did with the 14-year-old girl after her mother took her to the hospital and didn't call the police, they took the little girl to some rape treatment facility or wing, ran tests on her clothing, and come to find out that Polight's semen from his penis was on her scarf and on her shirt. Huh? How does that happen if you didn't have your penis in a mouth or taken out, Polight? How are you going to beat this? How are you going to beat this? How are you going to explain that to your own daughters? How are you going to explain that to your own daughters? Huh? How are you going to do that, bro? You are finished, man. You're finished, God. I can't even, sad, man. Why would you have to do that? You got women all over the planet, adults, in all different flavors, but yet you chose a minor. And why did you do that, Polight? Because you had the power to manipulate that young girl, just like you manipulated her mother into allowing that young girl to go to a nightclub with you. Does that make sense to any mothers out there? Should not that bring about a red flag? Like beep, 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 beep. Should that not? Needless to say, it didn't. Needless to say, it didn't. And Brother Polight is out on bond. He is out on bond. I highly doubt he can leave the state of Miami. Excuse me. He can leave the state of Florida. I highly doubt that. I wonder if he would go on a run. What do you think? Do you think Brother Polight will go on the run, or do you think Brother Polight will be a stand-up guy and face those charges, just like his father did? All of the respect that I have for you, Polight, is gone. The wisdom that you have as a young man and the knowledge that you possess that you gave to millions of people across social media, and I'm sure those in life, you have cut them and yourself short by this insane behavior of yours. Now look at you. Now look at you. What are you going to tell your daughter, man? What are you going to tell your mama? What are you going to tell your mama? Now, you know that you always spoke about how the black woman is God. So how was you raping God's daughter? You know, like, people forgave you for the scamming, man. You didn't scam thousands and thousands of bags from people, man, from all over. We know about that. And people forgave you. People began to like, okay, if he got you, he got you. I hope you got your money back, okay? I'm surprised that he's still walking around with the amount of money that he scammed out of people. Needless to say, the angels had it, and that wasn't enough for him. It wasn't enough that he had got saved from robbing and stealing from people. That wasn't enough. You had to go messing with the babies. You see what happens when you do wrong? Anybody out there, have you ever done something wrong and you knew that it was wrong and you got caught when you did it? You know why? Because you wasn't supposed to do it and you knew it. And that's why you got caught, Polight. How can you explain that? Nobody forgives a pedophile. I don't. Nobody forgives a pedophile. You are now a sex offender, my man. You are now a sex offender. And you can't get out of the situation. You have to like cop a plea now because all of your biology is on her shirt and her scarf. How did your biology get on her skirt, on her shirt and her scarf if you didn't, get off? So did she pass out after she gave him the blowjob, or did he try to, I don't know. But whatever you say, Polight, think wisely. Think wisely. Your father thought wisely. hmm Even his own son, Malachi York, even his own son helped put him under the jail because they was coming for him. Uh-huh. Yeah. So Nuwapian father and baby Nuwapian, okay? Nuwapian father and baby Nuwapian, both of them is going to jail. One is already, like I said, he's under the prison. He'll never see daylight no more. I just don't understand any man, especially you, Polight, with all that you have, with all of the places that you've been, with all of the women that you have in your harem, with your polygamy. That wasn't enough for you that you had 4, 5, 6 grown women? That wasn't enough for you? And they were all okay with it? That wasn't enough for you? and you had to go mess around with them babies. And that's what happens to you. I don't feel no mercy for you. Everybody forgave you. They're not going to forgive you for this one, bro. They're not going to forgive you for this one. And with all of that energy that you have, the talent that you have, where what you gonna do with it now? What are you gonna do with it now? Are you gonna teach the inmates? I guess that's the same thing that your father's doing in prison, teaching the inmates. I just don't know what to say for you, bro. I really don't know what to say for you, man. The world knows this. You're gonna go back to New York? No, you can't leave the city nor the state. You can probably leave the city and just go to a suburb area, but it's got to be in the county, and you're not leaving state. You like that red state, Miami? I mean, Florida. It is nice though, but you are detained there and will be detained there for a very long time. For a very, very long time. Sad. And you know what? Whatever they give you in regards to sentencing, you deserve that. You deserve that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, bro? And wow, that's a mind blower to everybody. All of those supporters that were women. What do you think now? Has this happened before? Has this happened before? You have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, has that happened before? I'm just saying. And they're going to ask that too. In fact, they're probably going to go and find out, all his girlfriends that he got and see if their daughters have a story like this. Don't be surprised. Don't you be surprised. Another sad story for a conscious person. If you out there raping girls, taking them to your hotel room, underage girls, how conscious are you? How conscious are you? Speaking of conscious, a lot of these rappers feel like they're conscious too. And a lot of their fans feel like that they're conscious too. The rappers of today. And what's sad about the whole thing with the rappers of today, we already know that they get paid to promote death and destruction and bring terrorism in your neighborhood. We know that. But what gets me is that these rappers not only get paid to promote the violence and the degeneration of a community, of a people, they also have awards for them for doing that. Like the BET Awards, music awards, they get Grammys, they get platinum albums. Huh? They get platinum albums hanging on their walls for death and destruction for promoting that image. and teaching you to live that image out. I'm just saying. A prime example of what I'm saying is BET Awards. Look at the people who got the awards and look and what were they singing about? What were they singing about? And in their videos that they have, they always show you these videos whereas they are recording in the hood. They're recording in the hood where they came from, but they no longer live in the hood. Yet they want you to idolize the hood. Because what do? They bring their big cars in the hood. You see about 5 or 6 studio gangsters or 2-time felons together in the video, shooting dice, smoking weed in a big car in the hood. The car costs more than what people pay for rent for, I don't know, a couple of years. But you in the hood. So that's giving you an image of entrapment subliminally. Because if you're glorifying the hood where they're doing these videos at, it's keeping you there mentally. You can't escape. And they're getting paid to keep you from escaping. Now, these rappers make so much money that they don't live in the hood. The big rappers, the big rappers, they don't live in the hood. You even had some, middle rappers that don't live in the hood. So those who making millions and millions of dollars, they don't live in the hood. They live in mansions. They live in well-decorated lawns and trees, evergreen trees, And they send their children to private schools where they have private tutors to come in and teach them. And you never see what they live like. However, if you watch Rick Ross videos, him and maybe a few other artists, but it's very few of them that actually show you where they live at and actually do a video where they live at. Why do they continue to show you that? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about why they continue to shoot rap videos in the hood where they don't stay? Even your radio stations. Has anybody compared a white radio station, a Caucasian radio station, versus black people or an ancient Egyptian radio station? Okay, here in America. Is there any difference? I'm sure that there is. We're not talking about the disc jockeys. We have totally different energy than Caucasians. We have totally different energies. We have a little more flavor, so to say. I'm not being funny to my white family out there, right? No, but we just have a little more flavor, and y'all know that. Okay? But the thing is, what music comes out of the box? What music comes off of that radio station airwaves, that antenna that they got going on? What sounds of energy are coming out of one radio station versus the other radio station? Even with children, they know the difference. They know the difference. And this energy that comes out of this box, it helps either entrap you in an environment or it frees you and inspires you to spread your wings, so to say. One does that and the other one doesn't. Don't argue with me. Those are actual facts. Keep it a buck with yourself on that. Think about that. And why is that? What type of music is hey, you have to check something out. What type of music, even white rappers? Hey, it's this guy named Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald. This white rapper, if you haven't seen this video, go check it out. He speaks about government. He speaks about that package. He speaks about the media. He actually speaks about what's going on. He's not talking about death. He's not talking about selling drugs. He's not talking about calling a woman a bitch or a hoe. No, no, no. He's talking about the upliftment of consciousness to all people that view that video. Now, needless to say, we have great people who have done that. Rakim, KRS, most definitely. PE, Queen Latifah, Sister Soldier. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. We're not talking about that. We're talking about rappers right now. And we know what they're talking about. When was the last rapper that you heard on an urban radio station, predominantly black area? When was the last time you heard that radio station play a positive song that represented some form of enlightenment for everybody? Not the love thing, not to let me kiss you, let me rub your feet, let me sleep with you when your husband go to work, or let me sell you some drugs, or no, we're not talking about that. Anybody? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Common was about maybe the last one I really heard. Common. And I forgot Juice. And damn, I can't remember his name now. Damn, I can't remember his name. Southside of Chicago. Anyway, right? The music, yeah, it weighs on you when you go into a white person community, right? When you go into that community, you know why it's so different? Because of what they listen to. Because of what they listen to. Because of what they watch on TV. In fact, about it, I'm not saying that white people are better, because they're not. We know that they are devils, okay? And not all of them, but we know that it's a whole bunch of them, okay? But what do their children watch on TV? What do your children watch on TV? Remember, music plays a great role in your environment. What you watch on the TV plays a great role on if you stay in your environment, in that ghetto, in the hood, or if you watch something else, the Smithsonian Channel, Animal Planet, History Channel, besides BET and MTV and VH1, and you know, your whole perception, your child perception would change. The conversation would change. But if we continuously allow our children to listen to what's coming out of the stupid box, and continue to allow them to watch stupid programming on TV so that they can be programmed to be stupid, come on now. Come on now. And we wonder why our children are the way that they are today. The youth. It is safe to say that we failed the youth. I didn't. I dropped the video on that maybe 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago. Yeah, I do another one in regards to that. But yeah, these rappers of today, what do they show you? What image do they give you? They're getting shot. They're dying like flies in the hood. They don't get. In fact, Some of them do get jacked where they stay at. Some of them do have home invasions where they stay at. But a lot of them get killed in the hood. I'm just saying. Pop Smoke got popped off at his crib, and they just ran into Lil Durk's house where he live at in the suburbs of Atlanta. So everybody can be touched. Everybody can be touched. But why are you touching each other that way? Why are you cutting each other TVs off that way? Gang war and rappers of today. Gang wars and rappers of today. So you all think about that. I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you all for viewing this. Your brother, the MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is power. Remember, it is your third eye that makes you shine like jewelry. And if you haven't done so already, press the subscribe button and view the videos below.